is like they did this back to back. So they did the Blessing of the Worthy garbage, and then they go and do this, and they say nothing about either one of them.
Today we have an interesting topic. We recently discovered the strategy to max out your Warband activity the quickest you can in the game. Within 24 hours of us posting this, Blizzard has decided to hot nerf this and actually make it more difficult now to acquire Warband activity. This method wasn't easy. It still required a lot of grinding, and now it's even worse. We're going to talk about this today with some of your other favorite content creators. Let's get going. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have noticed something. Yesterday, it seemed like there was a hot fix, hot nerf, whatever you want to call it, to the way Warband activities work. So let's just explain what's going on. First and foremost, in the game, there's these Warband activities. You get these every week. They reset on Monday at server time, and you have to get 1,000 points at the normal rate, and then 500 more points if you want to go to the 1,500 total points at a 25% acquisition rate. Basically meaning at the standard rate, it's about the same as if you were farming 3,000 of these activity points is sort of the math. So what that actually means is, we've said this in the video, that the way this actually ends up turning out is you go and you farm. For instance, we were farming this one, Vita, and you farm a Warband activity because it gives you 80 points for running one of the Warbands. So this is what we were sort of doing before the game points. But do you want to explain, whoever wants to do it, let's go with Val. Val, do you want to explain what has happened as of yesterday?
So we're sitting there. We both made videos. I think all three of us made videos on this. And then I get flooded in Discord, and then both of our comment sections. I don't know about Chosen's video, but we're just getting constantly berated. Hey, I think they nerfed this. And so we run in, we try out one Warband raid, because you have to do one to get your one-time reward. And then you do the second one. And just like how you can't repeat the raids to get a bunch of scoria, the same thing happened with the Warband activity. Previously, you could just keep doing it, but they removed the fact that you could keep doing it. So it's literally just a one-time reward. So the only way you can get Warband activity is every other way but Warband raids.
You can do them. They're all separate. So you get the one activity for each one of these. But then after that, you can't farm more of these Warband activities. You pretty much have to go and do it through the, what's the only other way? What, Defense and Purge of the Depth, right? As far as I'm aware, there's no other way.
Yeah. The endless mode.
Yeah. The Defense and the Purge.
And it's so bad.
So what
Go ahead, Dart, sorry.
No, go on. What were you going to say?
I was just going to put a bow on top of what Vale was saying. Yeah, I do think it was probably intended to be like Scoria. It was probably intended to be a once a week thing, but unfortunately for them, there was some sort of oversight, and on a few of them you could keep running them, because it wasn't all of them. Like Lassel, you couldn't farm over and over again, but like Vitath and a couple of these other ones you could. So it's just unfortunate that they let that bug slip through, and then they didn't really clarify anything. They just changed it without giving any sort of explanation. But
I thought it wasn't. See, my read on it was like, oh, you need a lot of Warband points. Like, this is the way you do it. Like, it's basically the only way I can tell to get that many Warband points without just spamming like endless mode and stuff. It's the only way to effectively do it. And I kind of thought the biggest complaint of the game, this is my take on it. The biggest complaint that I've seen is how many hours, like this Warband activity is going to take a long time for people to do to upgrade this. And we were complaining, even with assuming that the way we were going to be doing it was the Warband farming, because we didn't realize this was unintended. So now it's like, I'm legitimately wondering, how are you supposed to do that? Because farming endless is not good value from what I'm under the aware of. It's not good value. There's no kill streaks. There's not good drops. And Purge of the Depths is really kind of for your remnants, right? So am I missing something here? Is there another way we're supposed to be hitting this activity cap?
So I ran a little bit of math myself, because I also recorded a little bit of this because I was frustrated about it too. But so if you do your 2 times per week, it looks like they're really trying to heavy focus in on this casual thing again. Like they made the Warband thing and then they went back to their casual focus, because you have the 2 times per week, Monday, Thursday. You have 5 Warband raids. If you get 80 points per, you have to run it twice a week, or each one twice a week for each reset for the Scoria, which means, you're getting 800 activity points a week if you're doing your Scoria resets on Monday, Thursday, which we've kind of planned out and we're planning on doing. So you're getting most of your activity. The question therein lies is like the 1 to 1,500.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to do that through endless, it takes on average 6 hours of endless gaming, literally, to go and get that points, which is just absurd.
6 hours a week?
A week, yeah.
You gotta see people spooning the endless mode.
Oh no.
So for me, the actual hot fix of this was a little bit like kind of questionable, because I kind of felt like this was the way that we were going to be farming these anyway. And I don't feel like people are going to be doing the endless mode after. I mean, maybe you guys feel different about this, but I feel after a month or two, like most people probably aren't going to be doing the endless mode. I mean, you'll do the weekly one, right? And then if you want to go for the rewards, but the leaderboard rewards is temporary. You guys notice this? It's 14 days. So you have to do this every 2 weeks if you want to go for the endless mode. So I guess if you wanted the rewards, you would keep doing this. But from what I understand, the Siren Guard Defender frame, isn't that exactly the same frame as, I mean, look at it. It's the same frame as any of the Warband frames. So there's just one frame for either endless mode or the Warbands. So all you have to do is just get the frame from literally any of these. You don't actually have to do the endless mode reward is not for endless mode, which is weird because it's a Siren Guard Defender frame, but it's from the Warbands, which isn't really defending Siren Guard. So that part's a little confusing for me too. But I guess the focus of this video today is the Warband activities. They nerfed it, so it's actually going to be harder now than it used to be before. We're not really 100% sure why, to be honest with you. You think this is for the best?
Absolutely not. I think that it's just so counterintuitive. Like, I guess you could argue that, oh, they want the 1K points for the casuals, and then the 1,500 points is for like the heavy grinders, you know? But it's like, if you wanted that the case, then just keep how it was before. Like, I think how it was before, like that first day, is perfectly fine. Because to me, like the endless mode is sort of like a novel game mode. Like, it's fun, but it's not something that you want to do all day for 6 hours. You know, it's like, oh, I want to load it up every week, you know, see how high we can get on the leaderboards, you know, 20 minutes, I'm done, you know. And now, like, it feels like I don't want to do it at all, because that's like the only way to get warband activity. It's personally, it's irritating.
Yeah. Why couldn't they just do something like you get a certain amount of warband activity for like how much you play with your warband? So like when you're in a group with one other warband person, you accumulate, you know, a certain amount of points per hour. If you're with 2 people in your warband, you accumulate a certain amount of points per hour. That way it would incentivize people to like grind dungeons together, farm XP together, and really actually play the game together. I feel like there's a lot more mechanics that would make it a lot more fun than trying to like abuse the system and do Vitoth 40 times or do endless mode for 6 hours.
The Warband raid system, I agree with in terms of that. What they could do is, because we can already tell when you're in a Warband party with somebody because you get the bonus, right? So in my personal opinion, yeah, if you every time you run a dungeon, you know how we get battle passes like on the codex here, where it's like, okay, you run a dungeon, you get 25. I mean, just add in like 10 battle pass points with these. Yeah, so you do it, you get Warband activity. I don't understand how this is that complicated. Which is kind of like, I won't think I would even be complaining about this if this Warband activity wasn't literally like 95% of the update. I mean, this is the major update, is this Warband activity. It is the Ancient Tableau. It is upgrading this. Like, that is the war. This is what we've been waiting 3 months on. And then they hotfix it without putting it in the patch notes literally anywhere. Like, they just don't mention, they just fucking fix it after we come out with the videos being like, here's the efficient way to do it. Like, there's a way you can actually do it without ruining your life. And then they fix it like within 24 hours.
They said not so fast.
Like, you know, it'd be cool is if we had an endless game. It would be cool if we had the Purge of Depths. All right, and then, you know, all this stuff. Oh, what about Warband chests? Those are in the game. And then it's like, none of it really works like synergistically. Like, they have this 400% increased drop rate after you do a Warband raid. So you jump into a Warband raid, and then you get 60 minutes of the increased drop rate of chests that don't matter a crazy amount, when they could have made it like, oh, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it a very smooth process. You know, every Monday you jump in with your Warband, you do your Warband raids. Boom. Now you got your full day of Warband bonus chests. And then if you go find Warband chests, you can turn them in for Warband activity. And then, like this.
Something
like,
that's the other part I don't get, bro, is the Warband chest thing. It's like they really hyped up the, like, you're getting 400% drop rate. Like, they hyped it up. It was in the patch notes. It's like, yeah, but for 60 minutes. Like, you can have it be 400% for the entire day. I might get one. Even with the like, what do you mean it's 400% for 60 minutes? What the fuck am I supposed to do with that 60 minutes? Like, panic and run around desperately trying to I don't even know where these things drop at, realistically, the best. I don't know. It clearly seemed to me like they're kind of missing any feedback at all, like, in my opinion. This part, since the update, it's like, I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't understand. It's like, why nerf what is the only way really to do this? I mean, like you say, 6 hours a week of endless mode's kind of like crazy when you don't really get any rewards for it other than just those Warband activity points. But anyway, that's just one man's opinion. So we'll have to see. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about this hotfix, because obviously we're kind of salty about it a little bit. This is the way we were doing it, and it kind of has this tradition. You show something in the video, and then it gets hotfixed like a day later. So that's kind of unfortunate, but you know what? It is what it is. So any last words?
Say anything. Oh my god! The biggest part, honestly, the thing that I'm more upset about is, like, they did this back to back. So they did the Blessing of the Worthy garbage, and then they go and do this, and they say nothing about either one of them. It feels like I log on to a game, and you know how, like, people are like, oh, MMOs are so, they ruin the experience because it's guide focused. I don't have that problem in this game because I feel like I have to find everything else again about this game every day. Like, oh, I wonder what they changed today. Let's go play the game and figure it out.
You gotta retest every spreadsheet every day.
I know, it's literally what it feels like. Oh.
So for the people that were saying we were wrong and you can't reforge these or refarm these, we were right, but we were also wrong. Unfortunately, they changed it. So
they were made to be wrong.
They're made to be wrong. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it. That's our complaining for today. Like, comment, subscribe for more complaining in next video. Let's get going. All right, bye-bye, everybody.
That's right.